Howdy team, welcome in. Today's workout is kettlebell focused yet again, but we're on the blue levels now. So if you haven't checked out the green kettlebell workouts, they're very, very important in terms of showing your foundations, showing you technique, and speaking about how your body should be moving and bracing throughout certain movements. If you are pretty adept at kettlebells, feel free to join in today for something thrown together that you might be able to do on a day where you can't think of anything better to do. This is a really, really good workout, half an hour's worth of work here. If you'd like to skip straight to the workout and just get into it, look at the link below in the description. There'll be a link to the channel marker for the workout itself. Otherwise, I'm gonna talk everyone through the movements now and have a word about how we're progressing from the beginner levels into the intermediate level workout movements. So first movement we've got is the single leg deadlift. Now this is a movement which we have done during our body weight workouts, but what we're gonna do is get them slightly more advanced by using a weight. Some people find that a single leg deadlift can actually work a little bit better with a weight in their hand, but essentially what we're doing is we're taking the drinky bird movement from our body weight workouts, and we're now gonna add a weight, which is a deadlifted weight, which means the weight starts dead on the floor. We're then gonna pick it up and we're gonna return it to the floor. So unilateral, there's a left-hand side, there's a right-hand side. So if I'm, for instance, doing the left leg or the left-hand side, what I'm gonna be doing is standing just to the sides of the kettlebell here. I'm gonna take my right leg, push it back, I'm gonna hinge at the hips, slight bend in that left leg. My right hand is gonna reach down for the kettlebell. At this point now, with the dead weight on the floor, I'm gonna squeeze my glutes and my hamstring, bracing the core, nice tight shoulder blades, standing up straight, not letting my right foot touch the floor, hinging at the hip, and then returning it to the floor in a dead weight position, and repeating. So now, on top of the balance and the coordination required to do this hip hinge with one leg, we're also adding in the power required to lift a weight off of the floor. And a kettlebell is a perfect weight to use for this because it's got a nice big handle that you can grasp onto. So we're gonna do that on one side and then repeat it for the other side there. After our single leg deadlifts, we're doing what we call, or what some people call, a tactical lunge. Normally I'd call this a single leg walking lunge kettlebell pass through, but you can see here, I can't fit all those words on my timer. I had a quick Google and some people call this a tactical lunge. And what we're doing with the tactical lunge, this one's interesting. It's a single hand, single leg. I'll show you without the bell to begin with. As we lunge forward, we're gonna take the kettlebell and we're gonna pass it under the legs and then stand back up. We're gonna then lunge forward with the alternating leg, passing it under the legs and then back up. So this is what it looks like. We're gonna do that forward lunge, pass it under, stand up. Lunge, pass it under, and back up again, okay? So now we're taking that, it feels good when you get the rhythm right. I'm doing step forward lunges. Now, you can actually make it a little bit more advanced and do full walking lunges, but for the time being, for the moment, what I'd like people to think about is bracing the core. This one's very important because if you've got a weight in your hand and you're passing it from hand to hand and you're all floppy, you're gonna end up getting unbalanced, okay? So what we wanna do, nice tight core, nice braced core, shoulder blades in a really set position, torso upright. Holding the bell in one hand. If you're holding it in your right hand, we're gonna lunge forward with the left leg, passing it under. We've got enough space here to actually pass the kettlebell cleanly because you're going for 90 degrees in each leg. You can see if you were to do a half-assed lunge like this, there's nowhere to put the kettlebell. So it needs to be a proper full lunge, up and under. And you see my torso is upright. I'm not curling down to reach down underneath it. I'm keeping my torso nice and upright, nice straight arms, and catching the bell underneath. Awesome. So this one takes a little bit of practice, but that's what we're here to do today. So after the tactical lunges, I then have hand change swings. Again, I could call this the single arm kettlebell alternating swing. Those words won't fit, so we call it the hand change swings. We've touched on swings, we've touched on single hand swings. What we're gonna do now is actually a full swing, and at the top, changing the hand. So you're gonna be swinging as if we were doing it yesterday. Full single hand swing, but at the top of the swing, hand comes up, changes, and then repeating the swing with each hand. Important note with this one is that you can see, if you're holding the bell in the middle like this, as soon as it gets to the top, you've nothing to do. You got nowhere to put this other hand. So when you're doing the alternating hand swings, I like to hold it on the edge. You see there? If you're doing a double hang swing, if you're gonna pick the bell up with two hands, this is literally where each hand is gonna be. So all you need to do, pick it up with two hands, take one hand off. That's how it's gonna feel in the single hand. So all of the cues for a kettlebell swing, you have to remember this. Hip hinge, you're gonna push your butt back. You're starting off with the bell out in front of you so that when you pick it up, it's gonna swing back. Start off with just your single hand swings. You're thrusting forward with the hips, bracing your core, holding those shoulder blades back, okay? And when you've got the pendulum right, we're now gonna reach up at the apex of that swing and swap over, okay? So nice and tight grasp. Again, if you feel like there's something in your room that you don't want to damage, then move away from it. And remember, with the single hand swings, we're swapping from that horizontal handle to, as it goes between your legs, thumb pointing towards the bum, thumb towards bum. So it's that twist, up, grasp, twist, up, change hands, okay? So that's the single, what we call the hand change swings. After that, we're then moving into cleans. So I did mention we are absolutely, Grace, workout is in full swing. We're now gonna go to clean. So you remember the regressed cleans, whereby we started on the floor with two hands. We're gonna kick it up and twisting it so that now this forearm is vertical and you've got the bell resting on the bicep and the side of the forearm with your knuckles and wrist straight in line with the forearm, okay? That's the regressed clean. We're actually now gonna use the strength that we built yesterday with the bottoms up clean, and we're gonna do it in one swift clean motion, okay? So from here with the bell handle side to side, we're gonna kick our butt back. We're gonna do, the first one is what we call a floor clean, where it comes up off of the floor, but all subsequent reps are gonna be swing cleans. So don't worry too much about the terminology, just watch how it works this first time. From the floor, we're gonna thrust it up. We're then gonna perform a little bit of a swing, but keep that elbow in nice and close to us and catch it with the vertical forearm, okay? Like that. So this is the clean. What we're gonna do as we drop it, we're gonna do a swing, but then instead of letting the swing go in front of us, I'm gonna bend the bicep and catch it here again, okay? It might take a couple of reps just to get it into full swing. Again, don't mind the pun. But as you catch it, have a look. When you catch it at the top, see how that handle is at an angle. It's not straight like this. It's actually on that downward angle. So that's what you want to keep in mind as you do these swing cleans, okay? So dropping it down. Now, it will take a little bit of time to get the hang of it. We want to start off with a very, very light weight, because as you perform them, if you do get that rotation wrong, it is going to flip over and hit your forearms. So please stick with it. If you find yourself continually hitting the forearms, put the bell down, shake it out, return to the regressed cleans, and return to the bottoms up catches, okay? Return to that, give that a go. Otherwise, give the full cleans a shot. You see that? We're kind of bending that bicep, keeping the bell nice and close to us. Good. So, see how you go with that. Workouts like this provide a really, really good platform to actually just continually get those reps in. And if you do want to actually get better at them, you feel like you've got a bit of a snag, a bit of a roadblock, please do feel free to reach out to me or any other personal trainer in your local area, because an hour's worth of time with a kettlebell coach, priceless, absolutely priceless. Cool, so after our cleans, we're gonna go into what we call plank drags. Now this one's a core movement. This one, again, is using the kettlebell as resistance in order to strengthen a certain type of movement, which we've done the thread the needles before with the body weight. This one's essentially a weighted thread the needle, if that makes sense. So what we're gonna do is start off with the weight in the middle, the kettlebell in the middle, okay? We're then gonna plank over the top of the kettlebell. So the hands you can see are slightly in front of the kettlebell. And what you're gonna do, spread the legs a little bit. You can see how wide my legs are here, okay? So I've got them about shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider than shoulder width. I'm gonna take one hand off the floor, drag it to the side. So now it's in line with that hand. I'm then gonna take the other hand off, drag the bell to the side, plank, okay? So we're reaching underneath ourselves, we're reaching underneath our body, 3 points of contact on the floor, picking the bell up and dragging it along to the side. So this is all about core stability, core bracing. And obviously the heavier the bell, the more power and stability required. Hey Celts, how you going? So that is our plank drags. Cool, so after that, we've then got another unilateral movement. This one as well will challenge people, and there's gonna be different ranges of motion with this. So again, the reason why we teach cleans is because you need to clean in order to get this one up onto the right position. Works great with a backpack and a sandbag as well, Celts. I'll often do that one with a sandbag. Okay, so what we're gonna do to kick off the windmills, we're gonna clean it up onto one side. I'm gonna start off with my right hand side. Clean. We're then gonna press up above our head like this. Now, if I'm holding it in my right hand, I'm gonna switch and tilt, I'm gonna shift the angle of my toes to the left about 45 degrees. You see that? So I've got my feet about shoulder width apart, right hand up in the air with a overhead kettlebell. We're gonna shift the toes about 45 degrees to the left. What I'm gonna do now is hinging at the hips, pushing my butt back, but keeping my spine nice and straight. I'm gonna reach down towards my left foot with my left hand, okay? Soft bend in the knees, and I'm gonna try and keep my back as straight as possible. I'm gonna reach down to the point where I feel like that bend in the back is gonna kick in, and then I'm gonna use my glutes and my hamstrings to power myself up. So, in terms of different ability levels, some people may find they get to about here, and then they need to use the glutes and the hamstrings to get back up. Some people can get down to their ankle. Some people can get down to the floor. Completely up to you, okay? So bring it back down and then reverse that clean to bring it to the floor. That's called a windmill, okay? So this one is very, very tough. It's a lot of shoulder mobility, a lot of hip mobility, a lot of glute and hamstring strength. Like I said, the things to note, the things to be very, very mindful of is once you've got that overhead, you tilt the toes about 45 degrees, you reach down. As soon as you feel like you lose stability in your core and in the straightness of your back, that's where you stop and then come up. So at this point here, that's a perfect windmill, perfectly adequate windmill for your range of motion. You need to decide on that one, okay? So obviously we're gonna do that on both sides. After the windmill, the final movement of the day, which is again, an intermediate one because we have worked with the beginner level. We're gonna grab a mat, and what we're gonna do with this one today is taking the bell in our hands in a very, very solid goblet positioning, okay? I'm getting puffed, yeah, exactly. So we're gonna sit back, we're gonna sit down on the floor, we're gonna perform a sit-up with the bell in our hands, and then press up overhead, down. So it's a sit-up, strong core, pressing up overhead, and then down. So making sure you have a very, very tight grasp on this bell as you press it up overhead, down, and it's nice and close to your chest and your chin as you perform the sit-ups there. So that's the final movement of the workout. We're gonna start this off. I'm gonna move the mat because we only need the mat for that last movement. Are you ready? Are we ready? I'm ready. We're gonna get our watches. We're gonna pop them into cardio mode so it measures our heart rate, and pressing start now. It is a good thing to come, absolutely. Here we go, 20 seconds, get ready. We're gonna start off with our single leg deadlifts, And we're gonna do it with our right leg first. So, the right leg is gonna be planted into the floor. The left leg kicks back, squared off the hips, reaching down with the left hand to grab that kettlebell and lifting the dead weight. Here we go. So, hip hinge, grabbing the bell, and now we're never letting it go. Bring it up to the top and down. Big deep breath. Fight for the stability and see how my left foot never touches the ground. It's just the bell and my right foot that touch. Nice, slow, controlled descent and a powerful, stable ascent. My toes, you can't see them under the shoe, but my toes are splaying. If you're wearing really, really tight, constricting shoes, have a think about either getting shoes with a wider toe box or going barefoot. I would be careful about barefoot with a kettlebell though, because there are always chances of you dropping the bell on your foot, and shoes will provide a little bit of protection against stuff. So, okay, here we go. We got the left leg now. So, bell moves to the side, left leg planted, right foot is not gonna touch the floor. It's the right. You see a little bit of a bend in the knee is cool, is fine. If you can straighten the leg out, square the hips away. And what I mean by that, make sure that your hips are pointed directly forward. We're not shifting to the side like this. Hips facing directly forward. So you're getting that maximal amount of activation in the glutes and the hamstring there. The watch comes off for anything kettlebells, yes. For me, like I'm reasonably, what's the word? Good at messing with kettlebells, but I'll still take the watch off, just in case. Okay, we've got tactical lunges now. Here we go. Starting off in my right hand, which means I'm gonna be lunging with the left leg. And as I do that, again, I'm holding it to the side so I have room to grab it on the handle with my left hand. Gardner, how you going, mate? We're up to the blue level kettlebell workouts. And see, we've got these tactical lunges where we're lunging forward, passing the bell underneath, and then catching and resuming the lunge. So you see, if you can, you wanna put it all into one movement. You don't wanna lunge, pass, lunge up. We're trying to add them all together. Here we go, good. How'd that feel, team? First time doing it there. We've got our hand change swings now. So we're getting into the full swing of this workout. I'm gonna use that pun forever, Grace. Forever, ever. So we've got a full swing, but remember, when you pick up the bell with two hands, this is where I'm gonna catch that with each hand. A little bit of the curvature of that handle in each hand under the little finger as I swing. Starting off in front of me, I'm gonna start with one hand. Let's go. Kick it back, thrust forward, and when it's at the apex of that swing, that's when it's safest to change hands. I gotta remind myself, keep my shoulders squared away, hinge at the hips, use my glutes and my hamstrings to power it up. There's literally zero anterior shoulder being worked here. There is some rear delt being worked in order to stop the bell from flying away, but the front of the shoulders is not working. I'm not lifting it with my shoulders. I'm thrusting and keeping a hold of it with my grip. Okay, we're right hand cleans now. This is the tricky one. This is the one that can get a little bit funny, but I promise you, keep all of the cues in mind. Catching it with a vertical forearm, straight wrist. We're not catching it like this, we're catching it like that. And powering that elbow up underneath it. Nice soft landing on the side of the bicep here. Here we go. So start off with the swing, keep the bicep in nice and close, and then resume. It's a little bit of a twist to that bell. You can see the twist of the bell, and it's the same in reverse. You're gonna untwist it to get it down. You see, I'm not dropping it to the floor with each of these. I'm using a little bit of the power from my swing in order to get it up to the clean position. Good. So it's landing about here. And remember, the holding of the bell. It's not flat across the palm. It's starting off high, and then the handle is coming down towards the bottom of the wrist there. Both sides that'll happen. I'll show you. See me holding it? It's at that downward angle. That's what is very, very important with this. So starting off as a swing. We're keeping the elbow in nice and close. So it starts off as a swing, but then we bend at the elbow and we catch it up onto the side of the bicep there with a nice vertical forearm. Good. Awesome. How did that feel? How did that feel, everyone? If you're on YouTube, leave a comment below. If you've got any other pointers that I may have missed over as well, because I've got a lot to talk about. Sometimes I skip over some cues that help with people. Sometimes different trainers have some different cues to myself that I've never heard before that are really, really quite useful. So we're getting into these plank drags now. I'd like to start off with the bell in the middle, just so I have a good starting position. So wide feet, engage the core. I don't want that butt to move out of the line of in between my shoulders and my heels. So shoulders, butt, and heels should all be in line. Bring it across nice and wide. So you see my shoulders are not changing, my hips aren't rotating, they're both flat. I'm gonna pretend I've got a bucket of water, or even better, I'm gonna pretend I've got another kettlebell on my back, and I'm not gonna let that fall off of my back. Awesome. How'd that feel, team? Kitty, how you going? Okay, we've got right hand windmills now. So you remember the windmills, lots and lots of cues in this one. And even if you get like 2 or 3 reps before the timer beeps, it's better than 0, better than nothing. Okay, so we're gonna start off by racking this up into the right hand rack position. So we're performing a clean, it's racked, press up overhead. We're gonna tilt those or twist the toes that are at 45 degrees to the left, reaching up, keeping this right hand completely vertical, reaching down by hinging the hips and then using our glutes and our hamstrings to power ourselves back up. Like I said, if you're gonna reach down to here and that's as far as you can go, fantastic. Keep that up. Lots of shoulder strength, shoulder mobility required. Hinge at the hips. Good. Return the press down and then reverse that clean. Good. How'd that feel? How you all going? It's a tricky one. It's a really, really tricky one. So please keep at it. If it's too much weight, then maybe check out a smaller weight if you've got one. Even do these without a weight. I do find a lot of value in having a weight in your hands though, because what that does, puts a lot of emphasis on holding this arm up completely vertical. So now we've got the left hand, we're gonna twist the feet slightly to the right, about 45 degrees, and then reaching down towards that right heel with the right hand, keeping this up vertical. So you see my chest is nice and open. One hand directly down, one hand directly up, and my eye is looking up at the kettlebell in my left hand. Using the glutes because it is a hip hinge. It's not a directly forward hip hinge, but it is a hip hinge. Glutes and hamstrings to get us up to the top. Return the press, and then reverse the clean. There. Awesome. All right, sit-up presses. Final movement of round 1. That's a great shoulder opener, by the way. My shoulders feel so good after that. So I'm sticking with the gray bell for now. I might see in this second round how it feels with the yellow bell, because hopefully at this point, you're at the intermediate, which means you're working on actually pushing yourself through some adversity, through some tougher movements than what you'd normally be used to, sitting up nice and straight and then tall up over the head. You're making sure you've got a really, really solid grip on that kettlebell, big overhead shoulder mobility. One more. Good, and then dropping that on the ground next to you. Yeah, so that's what a sit-up press is, correct. We're gonna complete the sit up with the weight in hand, press it up overhead, down, and then sit back down again. 60-second rest there. How did that feel? For those of you on YouTube, write a comment below, let me know how it felt. For those in chat, check in with me. I understand not everyone can do this all at the same time, especially when we're live. But if you've got any questions about the form or something that you're seeing as well, please let me know. More than happy to have a chat about them. So I'm gonna upgrade to the yellow bell this time. See how we go. Starting off with our single leg deads, right hand side. So right hand, or the right foot, sorry, planted into the floor. We're gonna hinge at the hips. Left leg's gonna go back behind me, and I'm gonna use my left hand to pick up this bell. Here we go. Now a bit more weight. Oh, here we go, good, good, good. Had to get used to that. Whoop, 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 whoop. Nice. Extra challenge in this. I can feel in the glutes, feel it in the hamstrings. Nice. That was great. I like that. That's a really, really good movement to add some weight to, because sometimes you feel like, oh, it's a bit much, but just the sense of accomplishment by now picking up something much heavier than what you're used to with a single leg deadlift. Single leg deads are one of my favorites. Grace knows this. I'll sometimes pop them into people's workouts and they realize what butt DOMS really is. Okay, left foot planted, right leg is coming off the floor, right hand is grabbing this bell. Big deep breath. Keeping the hips squared away. My back is nice and straight. It's in a neutral spine. Hinging at the hips, remember that. Always remember that. The kettlebell is all about hip hinge. It's like a ballistic deadlift. Not this, but a kettlebell swing is like a ballistic deadlift. Yeah, when I say 10 reps, 10 per leg, please. Please. That's exactly right. Please. Okay, here we go. Next movement, tactical lunges. This is a challenge, a big challenge. Here we go. So, heavier bell now. Don't hit your leg. Good. So, lunging forward with enough clearance to pass this bell underneath whilst keeping my torso upright. So it's a little bit like the figure eights, except now we're adding in the coordination of a lunge. One hip in extension, one hip in flexion. Good. Nice. You're right, Grace. The satisfaction of nailing those reps in a nice rhythm, it's great, isn't it? It's good. So, where is my heart rate, by the way? My heart rate's disappeared. It's gone. Poop. Why is that? I don't know why things just break sometimes. Who knows? Who knows? PC things. Okay, we've got the hand change swings. Let's go. So starting off with one hand, picking it up from in front of me, push back. Yeah, not today, was it? Trying to keep my shoulders nice and squared. Yeah, that's a clean overlay because my heart rate's not there. Remember that twist, thumb towards the bum at the bottom, but up straight. When it's in front of us, it's got that horizontal handle so that we can catch it with the other hand. Yeah. There's absolutely no reason why it shouldn't be there. All of the layers are turned on, but this computer is having a time this morning, isn't it? It's having a time. All right, here we go. We can catch me slacking off. Shh. Right hand cleans. Now with a heavier bell, this can get a little bit more intense. So we'll see how we go with this, okay? were fantastic. They felt great. How did those look on stream? Did they look like proper cleans? Because they felt pretty good. I was trying not to watch myself too much. I was trying to focus on my form there, but they looked really, really good. And no bruising on the forearm, so we're good. We're good. Let's do the left. Now, the left is traditionally the side that I have problems with getting the coordination for cleaning. So we'll see how we go. Sorry, I wasn't talking so much during that one. I was trying to focus on my own form. Didn't feel as nice as the right-hand side there. Kitty! Oh, Kitty! Thank you so much. Welcome in, Lolhum, Aussie BC, Mouse, Rogan Josh, and Trippy Life. Oh, good picks, good picks. Thank you so much, Kitty. Okay, we've got the plank drags to do. Heavier weight now, so I want you to focus on not rotating the shoulders, not rotating the hips here. Wide legs to help with stability. Drag. Well, that's tough. I'm gonna try and pull it onto the outside of where my hand would normally be. You see that? Pull it on the outside of the hand. Back, reach under, thread the needle, pull it across, drag it across. Nice. That was a good set. Good ones. Thanks, Lolhum. I appreciate people that thank their gifters too. It's always nice, isn't it? Okay, the fan's going on because I'm hot. I'm hot. There we go. Oh, humor! Look, the lights have broken as well. So here we go. 2, 1. Let's just do this. Raid. How you going? How you going here, man? Everything's broken. We're raising money for a new PC because it's all busted, but we're doing these windmills now. We're doing an intermediate kettlebell workout, so here we go. Clean, bring it up overhead. Tilt the feet to the left, about 45 degrees. Reaching down, hip hinge, using the glutes and the hamstrings to power ourselves back up. Down. I'm gonna do one more because I missed one. There we go. Return to the press and then reverse that clean. Nice. So, welcome in, Raiders. Today's the day of PC problems. Yeah, everything's busted, but we're getting there in the end. So we're doing an intermediate level kettlebell workout today, hence the blue lighting. If you're not too practiced with a kettlebell, you'll want to jump back to the 2 green ones that I did. So we teach you the requisite movements in order to learn a clean. So this guy, then the press, and from here, we're gonna twist the feet 45 degrees to the right because the bell's in my left hand. I'm gonna reach towards that right foot with the right hand, hinge hip hinge, and then up. So hinge and get the hip. As long as my back is straight and in a neutral position, I'm happy with it. If you feel like your back is bending, stop, because that's a problem. Bring it down to the press, and then reversing that clean to the floor again. Windmills. If you feel like you're having some issues with shoulder mobility as well, drop the weight and focus on keeping that arm pointed directly up towards the ceiling there. Okay, so sit-up presses. We're in round 2 of 3. So hopefully you're getting the knack of these movements now. How was your stream? Hey man, and how have you been, JD Gaines? It's been a while, mate. How's things? Okay, really tight hold on the bell, nice and close to the chest. You're gonna do that reverse crunch, sitting up, and then press up overhead. So this is core and abs, crunch, and then press. Shoulder mobility, shoulder strength. Bracing the core, very important. Whenever you're doing any shoulder press work, nice tight braced core, otherwise you sink in the middle and you crush like an empty Red Bull can, which you do not want. Tight core is important for all kinds of lifting, especially overhead stuff. Yeah. We got 45 seconds and we're going into round number 3 of this one. So we are recording this for YouTube. If you didn't know, we are actually all of the bodyweight workouts and this week all of the kettlebell tutorial workouts are going onto YouTube. We've started a channel and I've had some really, really nice comments, really, really nice messages. I've got a 100% like rating on the YouTube videos. The YouTube shorts are a different matter. I feel like people just go in there when they're full of hate. People that just have hatred like to watch shorts. It's just a thing, isn't it? Okay, so we've got the single leg deads. I'm gonna upgrade now to the green boy, to the 24 kilo bell, because I feel like I can get a little bit of value out of this. So we're starting off with the right foot planted. Left hand is gonna grab that weight as I push, or as I tilt the left hand back, or the left foot back. Here we go. Holding on, brace the core. Oh yeah, it's good, it's good. Yeah, okay. Sorry, Grace, I brought it up. But yeah, there is definitely a misogynistic divide there, isn't there? It would be quite immature and short-sighted of me to say that there weren't things that happened on the internet because men. So yeah, absolutely. Big old finger up to the haters there. Look, I'm 100% sure that JD Gaines and Himer would experience the same thing too. So look, I apologize. Look, I shouldn't have to apologize on behalf of my gender, but I kind of do because so many are just bad. Here we go. So left leg, right hand. Nice. Neutral spine, back to a dead weight. Yeah, I can let go of it. Hip hinge, lots of glute, lots of hamstrings here. As long as you're keeping that neutral spine. Lovely, good. Yeah, exactly, that's how you recognize your privilege. I recognize it as a white appearing male. I get a lot of privilege in life. And it is really, really crap that other people outside of what I am don't get those privileges. So look, be aware of it and be aware that some things that you do in life can come across like pretty crap. So try not to be crap is my tip of the day. Okay, I'm gonna use this 24 kilo. It's gonna be tough, here we go. Needs to be better, Jeff. Better lunge, better catch. Better, see that? I took a longer step forward. Brace the core. That's really good. If my heart rate monitor was working, you'd see how good that was. Actually, you can see it on the wall. I am in the green zone. That did get me up to the aerobic zone there, just by swinging a bell around and doing a couple of lunges. My hand change swings, using the green one again. Really, really encourage you to try and push the boundaries of what you think is possible. So, we're changing hands at the top of the swing. It's all about the hips. Hey, Gold. We're using the glutes and the hips, glutes and hamstrings. Powerful hip thrust to get that bell up as high as you can. Yeah, you're right, Grace. People who have experienced both sides of the privilege would be the most qualified to speak about it. 100%. Workout's been great, Gold. Now, I'm gonna not use my green one for these cleans. We've got cleans to do now. So clean, right hand side, I'm gonna use the yellow one because I need more practice with this and I recognize that. So We're gonna perform the swing, and then keeping that elbow in nice and close, punching up, rotating, keeping a nice vertical forearm, vertical wrist, powerful wrist here. Swinging up. I definitely need more practice with that. Not even gonna hide that. So if there are people that wanna jump in and be, oh, negative comment, negative comment, negative comment. Yes, I do need more practice. Thanks for noticing. Oh, we're going great, Gold. How has your day been? Did you just get up? Did you have a bit of a sleep in? Okay, let's go. Left hand cleans now. Other side. So starting from in front of me, performing a swing, but a catch. Need more power from the hips. Realized that in the last rep there. Family member's not well. Oh no. Maybe it's a lie. Maybe because you don't know what's been going on those last 3 days. Something's off. All right, I'm gonna go back to the heavy bell because I feel like I can have a real good crack at this. I'm gonna plank over the bell, dragging this big 24 underneath me. So lots of core strength required for the anti-rotation. You don't want to rotate your core, your hips or your shoulders with this one, okay? So planking, wide feet. Brace the core with every drag, okay? Good. Awesome. Keep it going, team. That was rough. That was rough. Hey Mel, how you going? I'm gonna go back to the yellow bell for these windmills. Catching my breath. You can see even just planking has put me in that green aerobic zone there. That heart in the background is flashing at my actual heart rate, and it's flashing in the color of my heart rate zone. Green at the moment. So right hand, clean, and then press overhead. Here we go. Spread the feet, point them to the left at 45 degrees. Soft knees, brace the core. See, we're hinging at the hips. I'm gonna try and reach as far as I can. Fingertips to the floor with that one. Amazing. Down and reverse. Here we go. You've spent your energy for the day grocery shopping with kids. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Grocery shopping, number one, is a good day out. How many times, Grace, have we come home from shopping and you've just been like, I'm tired? It can be tough. It can be mentally draining, physically draining, but then with the kids on top of that, you're doing God's work, Mel. Here we go. Clean, press, spread the feet. I touched the floor then. I touched the floor. Oh, rough. I'm getting fatigued in the hands. I can tell because I got the calluses forming, and you're not meant to really have calluses forming, but it's a thing. Okay, we've got sit-up presses. Sit-up presses with the yellow bell. Let's go. Team, last movement. You know what to do. Here we go. So up, sit down, sit up, press down, sit up. Ah, good core strength, sitting up nice and tall. Brace the core, down. Straight up overhead. Last one more. Well done, team. Well done. Here we go. Thank you so much. If you're here on YouTube watching, let me know how you went in the comments below. Have a look. We're going to do another one of these tomorrow, so you'll see another one go up in the next couple of days. Blue level intermediate kettlebell workout. If you found that was a bit much or you didn't quite get the hang of some of those movements, you might need to pop back to the greens because we explain a lot about form, control, balance, core bracing, etc. And if you feel like this was actually quite easy, pretty good, you could do it again, or you could wait until we get the purple one up. The purple one's an advanced level kettlebell workout. That's gonna be all sorts of heart rate zones. So thank you so much for joining me. If you want to chat live on Twitch and ask me questions that I can answer afterwards, twitch.tv/fit for purpose. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time. See ya.